Counselor? There's a raccoon stuck in the vending machine.
That's so annoying. I wanted a snack.
Welcome to Trail Mix.
Our mini episodes from Camp Counselors podcast.
Each week, the stories come from you, our Camp Shady Birch campers.
We want to hear your juicy gossip,
Top secret confessions,
embarrassing and scary stories,
and sprinkle in our sage counselor advice.
Trail Mix is for the campers.
And God, do we love ya. Hey, happy campers. Welcome back to Trail Mix.
This is our mini episode where we read listener-submitted stories from listeners like you.
Thank you.
So I think as this comes out, I believe it's Labor Day, is it not?
It's Labor Day-y show.
Oh, happy Labor Day to all our laborious moms out there. Okay. Also, I just want to say, I'm wearing a shirt that I totally forgot I had for our audio only listeners. Let me do my best explanation of it. It's Jennifer's Body. We've got Megan Fox on it. I have no clue where I got this shirt from. It's a long sleeve, so we got like fun art that's going on the sleeves. And I remember I just found it and I was like, I remember getting this, but there was a reason why I didn't wear it. I'm like, is it too small? And I put it on and it's like, it's fine. So I'm like, what is the reason? What was the reason? And then I look at the bottom of it because it is a white shirt. And at the bottom of it are what looks like coffee stains. There's just splatters all over it that are actually not part of the shirt. And it is washed. So that is stained in there. I wore it one time. And it's because I got a cologne or a perfume, a fragrance from Lush back in the day. And it can be eco-friendly as possible. But it stained my shirt. It stained my white shirt. And since it is Labor Day, this is the last day I can wear it.
Yeah, you can't wear white after Labor Day.
Because I can't wear white after Labor Day. I don't know what the weight of that statement is. I also don't know when does it reset. Because if you can't wear white after Labor Day, what's considered after it? Or do you just not want us to wear white ever?
I'm not really sure, actually.
Yeah, does everybody reset at New Year's? You have to wait till January to wear white again?
See, that's not my big panic with this story. My big panic with this story is that perfume from Lush would stain clothing. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Because it came in a tincture bottle, and I put it in one of their little spray bottle things, and that could have been the issue. But it was called Death and Decay. No, but whether it was a tincture or not, I think maybe I dripped it on it. I don't know, but it had like an eyedropper. I think that might have been what happened.
You chose a cologne called Death and Decay?
Yes, and it smells really good. It smelled like roses. It smelled like dry, when you like dry a rose petal.
Lush is doing too much.
Yeah, well, I have a stain on my shirt.
Well, now I want to watch Jennifer's Body. I haven't seen it in a long time, and I think as this episode comes out September 1st, now we're kind of graduating from summer vacation, and in comes in the spook and the fun, and I don't think there's a better spook or fun movie than Jennifer's Body.
Jennifer's Body is such a fantastic movie that got just shit on and destroyed when it came out, and it is so good. People came around.
They did.
It took a long time.
It had a culture shift, and now it's regarded as a cult classic. But when it came out, it was not looked at like that. It was like it was trash.
Diablo Cody knew what she was doing, and she continued. She's like, everybody just like settle the kettle. It's gonna be good, and you know what? It is good. It's iconic, and I really love that movie.
I am a god. You know,
I am a god. And she's like, okay. It smells like Thai food. Were you guys fucking? Oh, I could quote that movie all day.
That's so you.
I got the keys to my mom's 2003 Chrysler Sebring, and it's all mine.
Okay. Anyways, we have a fantastic show for you today. What's your first story about?
I've got a coffee shop incident with full body flavor.
Ooh, okay.
I had fun writing.
I have a camper who hated the friendship but stayed for the snacks.
A Hershey Park incident that, much like the SooperDooperLooper coaster, had an unexpected turn.
Okay. And then I have a story that's actually so scary and actually about camping. So that's a real shift for the show. Let's get into it.
Get out of the water and onto the dock. You're not going to believe what I just heard. Welcome back to Gossip Doc. You've got gossip. You've got the juice from 0% concentrate. Well, we want to hear it. Send it on over to campcounselorspod@gmail.com or campcounselorspodcast.com. Let's get into it. Hi, Camp Counselors.
Hi.
Obviously, I'm going to take a moment to thank you and for spreading joy via podcast. You're so welcome. Every Wednesday night, when I come home from work, my husband asks, what did the boys have to say today? Wait, I love that.
That's fun.
And my cat asks, any updates on Buffy?
I'll give you an update on Buffy.
Yeah.
She's good.
Buffy's good. Buffy's great. We literally shared a lunch today.
Oh my God, this was crazy. We opened a big can of tuna and she had tuna and me and Jonathan had tuna salad sandwiches. So we all had the same lunch today together.
Yeah, it was freaky. But she said no sriracha and I said fine. So that's the Buffy update. Okay, so I hope you're all dried off from getting out of the lake water because you will not believe what I just experienced. I work the night shifts at a coffee shop with a gal we'll call Penny. The coffee shop is located in the business district, so nights are usually really slow and our only regular customers are a group of zaddies, i.e. a group of sexually attractive men, especially of older age, who are charismatic, at least according to Oxford Dictionary. Is that... Oh, no, I'm such an idiot. That is not in the dictionary. Okay.
It might be. They're putting crazy words in there now.
What is there beef between Oxford Dictionary and Merriam-Webster? Do they know each other?
I don't know, but I think who's got more class and sophistication would be Oxford. It's giving English.
Yeah, but I'll always go to my bookshelf and I'll reach for Miss Merriam.
You don't have a bookshelf and you don't have a Miss Merriam.
I had a dictionary and I remember it so vividly in my mind's eye. I can see it right now. It was like a hard-covered woven Merriam-Webster and it was red and it had all of the letters of the alphabet were like pinned out. And I remember I would put my tiny little finger and I would stick it in each of the little letters and I would count them.
That's sweet.
Yes, I was 16.
I always preferred the urban.
Anyway, these zaddies work at a fire station down the street. Although they're very kind and handsome, they're a little too old for my personal taste. Penny and I are 22 and these lovely men are in their 50s. However, these men are exactly Penny's type. She got some serious daddy issues. One night, Penny worked up the courage to give her phone number to one of the firefighters. Let's call him Pete. Pete didn't call or text her for a week. But he still came in every night with his group of friends to get coffee. She gave him her number in person. And then he would continue, never text, never call. And then he kept coming in. What a dog. He may have been in his 50s, but he clearly had game because after a week, Penny was foaming at the mouth for a call or text from him. Finally, he texted her. They started dating. After a few weeks, Penny told me that they had come to an agreement. Since they were both extremely physically attracted to each other and had no intention of starting a serious relationship, they would meet up to have sex a few times a week, depending on their schedules/wants, and would sprinkle in a few dinner dates here and there, or at least some late night post-sex fast food. I love this modern dating era. After 2 months of Penny and Pete starting this relationship, a woman storms into our coffee shop. She's holding out her phone and screaming, "Who sent this to my husband?" After a moment of shock, I realize she's going around showing our working crew a picture of boobies. This woman was furious. None of us said anything. Our silence only made her more angry. So she started throwing napkins and yelling at us, "Show me your tits! Are these your tits?" Now her trying to get the comparison.
Yeah, that's the only way you can find out. I gotta see the areola.
I'm not sure how long this went on for, but my manager eventually threatened to call the police and the woman left. Long story short, we found out that Pete was in fact a married man and his wife discovered his infidelity via a pic of Penny's nice tan yabos. We never see Pete or his work buddies anymore. I'm not in the business of wishing anyone ill will, but Pete, if you're listening, I hope you catch every red light wherever you're driving. Sincerely, the barista sipping tea in cabin 33. Penny was that me espresso.
Yeah, Penny is a dog.
Yeah, I don't support the cheating of any kind. She probably didn't know. Maybe she did. I don't know.
Firefighters by nature are dogs. That's not true.
Not the one I know. Yeah, Zach's not.
Yeah,
he's
Zach's
great.
not.
He's
Actually,
like a puppy. He's like a golden retriever.
If you want to be a dog, it's easy to be a dog as a firefighter because of the schedule.
Oh, yeah. Schedules are crazy.
2 24-hour shifts. You have a lot of free time.
2 24-hour shifts. Someone get them a bowl of chili. Also, we have firefighters right down the street from us. We actually, this episode, had to pause like 3 times because they keep going by.
The firefighters by us are hot.
They are. We should bring them chili. That was a weird thing for me to say. We're never going to do that.
First of all, they already make their own.
No, it needs to be brought by a wife.
That's not true.
Well, we can walk by and maybe.
Let's text Zach and see if they eat chili like we think they do.
Those bathrooms, stinky.
This episode of Camp Counselors is sponsored by BetterHelp. Ask yourself this, campers. As an adult, do you make time to learn new things as often as you like, or was that lost in childhood? I feel like kids are always learning and growing, but as adults, we have so many responsibilities and are always putting ourselves after everyone else. And sometimes we lose that curiosity. I'm just gonna say it. I wish I could learn to sew my own clothes so I could be my own tailor. Life is busy and that seems so overwhelming to learn. But hey, I want to do that for me in my closet. I got big thighs and short legs. Sue me. Therapy can help you reconnect with your sense of wonder because your back to school era can come at any age. I think everyone should be in therapy, honestly. I learned so much in therapy. Not only did I learn about relationships and improve communication skills, but I also learned that it's really never too late to try something new. If you're ever thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/camp to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/CAMP. This is a really big secret. Thank God we're on a body of water. This is Confession Canoe. Welcome back to Confession Canoe, campers. Woo, 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 woo. That was me confessing something.
I love sometimes when you do the like you'll intro something and you go woo woo. It's just a little celebration.
Yeah, I'm just giving a little woo. So this is a new segment that we do every single week, Confession Canoe, and I'm going to start with this confession.
Yeah, as a reminder, this is anything you want to confess. If you have something to confess it.
This is so sassy, and this is me at my worst.
Okay.
I'm
just intrigued.
Like when I read this story to preface, I was like, oh, this isn't good. But then I was like, sometimes in my darkest moments, I can be like this. Like I could see myself in this position. And I'll have to explain.
Yeah.
Hello, counselors.
Hi.
I have a dirty confession that's been in my head since the 6th grade. I've always felt guilty about it, but I feel safe telling you too. Anyways, my confession, I was using my best friend in 6th grade for free food. Let me explain.
Oh no.
I got it. I think I've been there. I had just moved to a new school and I met this girl who we will call Ava. She was okay. She wasn't the nicest girl in the world, but she was a lot like me. See, I was very overweight when I was younger and very insecure. I somehow thankfully was never bullied for my weight, but I actually grew up with a lot of kids who were overweight or chubby. So that's probably why.
It's like we're not going to make fun of you because we're on the same game.
I was inspired by Ava. However, she was never insecure about her weight. And if anyone ever made a comment, she didn't care. I wanted to be strong like Ava.
Wait. What did you say?
No, she said I wanted to be strong like this, but I added that Ava part.
Oh, you literally you said like you were in a scene from like Little Miss Sunshine. I wanted to be strong like Ava.
Now let's get to the part where I used her and why.
Okay, let's.
Around November, she really started to get on my nerves. She was a goody two shoes and would snitch on you even if you would say hell.
Oh,
Ava, fuck off. Because one day I'm gonna push you into a puddle and I'm gonna say, oh hell, and you're gonna be wet and pissed off I said hell.
I was that kid sometimes. I ratted on Ricky and
saying what?
He said freaking, but I went straight up to Antoine and I said, your son just said the F word.
The way that if I was in that group with you, I would make you leave. I would stand up for everybody and be like, we all don't like you because you're being a brat and you're being a tattletale. And if you want to do that, go home.
And you know what I would say? So Julia, yeah, I'm a fucking brat.
Yeah, no, you'd go sit inside and we wouldn't talk to you because I don't have tolerance for stuff like that. That's why
I would take my cap gun back.
So you're Ava and I'm our camper. See, this is where the divide happens.
It's giving Ava Max.
However, she had cool parents. Okay.
Does she have a snack cabinet?
Her dad worked for a company that made Takis.
Pepperidge Farm.
And her mom worked for our local Chick-fil-A.
Okay. It's made.
Food is killing it here. Her so every day for breakfast, I would get a free bag of Takis that she brought me literally every day.
Wait, how old are these kids?
6th grade.
Okay, 6th grade isn't like crazy, but I feel like that's a little crazy.
What?
That's just like a lot.
To eat Takis every day?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely a lot. No one's debating that.
Yeah.
And every Friday, she brought me a card to redeem for a free chicken sandwich meal at Chick-fil-A.
I would stock up.
You can't really stock up on the cards.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the chicken sandwiches.
No.
I was like, once they're made, babe, you kind of have to eat them.
I'm not an idiot.
I've gotten one of those cards before. I know what they're like.
Lucky.
I know. It got to the point where I hated her and literally couldn't stand her, but the free food kept coming, so I stayed.
I get it.
I eventually moved away from 6th grade and decided it would be best for me not to be friends with her anymore. I'm 21 now, and I still feel guilty about it to this day. If you're out there, Ava, I hope you're doing well. Signed, the big back in cabin 6.
The big back in cabin 6.
Like, it really wasn't like that rich of a story, but I just really liked the way that you were just like, you know what, fuck this bitch, but I'm getting Chick-fil-A for free every Friday. I can stick around for a few.
Yeah, I feel like there's no harm in it if you weren't mean to her. She wasn't. You were the one. You were internalizing it. You just had to go through it. You were using her.
Yeah,
sure, but you got your sandwich, and also, hey, try reconnecting on Facebook. Reach out, because who knows, maybe you would like fuck with her heavy now.
No, absolutely disagree with that.
No, I agree.
She's not gonna fuck with her now.
I agree.
And there's nothing in it for her now. She had bad vibes, and now she can get her own chicken sandwiches.
I guess.
That is so crazy. She just like yapping on and on, being such an annoying brat, and you're like, oh, just pass me the card already, Ava.
Literally, just give me the Takis.
She's like, oh, that's crazy. Anyways, love that. You have a confession as well?
No, I don't.
What do you have?
Oh wait, I totally lied. I do. I lied. I have a confession, Canoe. Okay, so here we go. Hi, counselors. I'm currently watching the most recent episode, which is episode 95, Coaster Counselor Era. And you guys mentioned an amusement park I went to growing up and worked out for over a year. As soon as you guys mentioned Hershey Park, my ears perked up like a little dog. I knew I had to tell you this story. Okay, so for context, Hershey Park is in Pennsylvania, in the United States of America. You've never been. I'm gonna bring you. Also had not been there since the 90s. It's the first place I ever got like a severe bloody nose. I was riding the Comet, which is a wooden roller coaster. We were going down and up. I hit my face on the bar in front of me. Blood everywhere. I'm just screaming. But you know what? I said, I'm gonna ride that again. And I did. I was a trooper. I really was.
Did the blood spray on people behind you?
Probably.
The way I would press charges against a child.
One time I was on a roller coaster and the people in front of me were sweating so bad. I was with my friend Nicole. They stopped the ride because I was filming. Yeah, I was like, I'm YouTubing. I'm making a video for YouTube in like 2007. I remember it so vividly. They stopped the ride, told everyone that they had to wait until I put my camera away. The guy came over, took my camera, and when he gave it back, he made me delete it in front of him. It was awful. I'm like, fuck you. But Hershey Park, when you're getting your height measured, you're assigned a candy. And I was like, oh, I can't wait to be a peanut butter cup. I never made it.
What would you be now?
Probably a Twizzler.
Oh.
I don't know. But I was always like a York peppermint patty. And I was like, barf me out.
I love a York peppermint patty.
I won't touch them with a 10-foot pole.
Get to the story.
Okay. So we're at Hershey Park. Here we go. Chocolate themed amusement park. So let's talk about, I'm going to skip that because it gives it away. I love how she starts as POV, you're me. I'm 15 and I've been at this job for a couple of months. To my left is my supervisor. To my right is a coworker that absolutely hates her job, and I'm pretty sure she hates me too. The three of us are repeating the same line over and over again to guests. Who wants to take a picture? And watching families stare at us, dead in the eyes, and walk away. After a few minutes of repeating our lines over and over again to the Hershey Park happy guests, like Hershey Park happy is like the thing. Side note, there is no Hershey Park happy. They never are. The family of 4 comes up to us and says that they want their photo taken. Something to note. After we sell 12 pictures, from what I remember, you get a commission. So anytime we got a family, I would start barking like a dog, trying to get them to come to me. So basically, they were just trying to make extra cash. Obviously,
like
that
a
makes
sales
sense.
job. Yeah.
This family was a mom, a dad, and 2 young sons. I get them positioned to take their picture and ask them where they're from, if they're excited to be here, and so on and so forth. I think they said that they were from the Middle East or something. I don't know. I don't remember. We take 3 sets of pictures, including doing a silly, goofy face. We always do. Okay, a silly one. Let's do it. Everyone does the same pace. And I give them a wristband with the information on it and where they can pick up their photos. As I'm explaining what to do, I'm putting the wristband on the dad's wrist when I hear a buzz of a creature. It's a fly. I'm assuming it was attracted to my glistening self, sweating from the sun, and wanted to get a forehead POV of the Hershey Park photographer experience. She just like wants everyone to be in her shoes. Like, why not?
She's like, just POV it out, please.
Just POV. It's 95 degrees and humid as hell. So everyone and their mom was drenched in sweat. The dad was not a fan of the fly. which is so weird. I guess it was like in his face too, but still. I tried waving the fly away when the dad said, "Let me get it for you." I told him no, and then I could easily swat the fly away in the nicest way possible that a 15-year-old could tell an adult. He insisted on getting it. He insisted on killing the fly. And that's when it happened. Bam. This man hit my face hard. I'm not kidding. He killed the fly using the palm of his hand that's closest to your wrist and hit my face where my cheekbone was. So like this, like the meat of his, like right here, what would you call this? Like if your thumb is a drumstick, it's at the tip of the drumstick. On her face? When would that ever be okay?
A 15-year-old, he was like open hand hit
her
in the face.
To try to kill the fly? Like, excuse you? I hear a gasp. I honestly think I blacked out. When I come back to life or back to consciousness, I see both my coworkers staring at me in shock. The guests from around are gawking at me, but still making sure they can get in line for the carousel. I stand there shocked. I have no idea how to react. The man looks at me, then he tells me he wasn't able to get it, and then he walks away. Like, what do you do in that situation? Like, you just hit me in the face and told me that you were trying to kill a fly. And then also, you didn't kill the fly, sir.
Yeah.
Here, pick up your photos, jackass. I had no idea what to do. My supervisor asked me if I'm okay. All I can do is go back to say, "Who wants to take a picture?" This poor girl. I went back to working after he slapped me because I had no idea what to do. Anytime I share the story to my friends, they're in shock. And I guess when it happened, I forgot to tell my parents. So when I ended up telling them, they did not think it was funny. Yeah, no, like it actually is like a very serious issue. Like, anyway, thank you guys for making me laugh every Monday and Wednesday and for being something that I always look forward to. Feel free to visit Hershey Park or any part of Central PA. We welcome you with open arms. Love the supposedly slappable camper in Cabin 5. I'm a Cabin 5 camper. Okay, so she's Patreon. Thank you for writing that in. That is insane. I'm sorry. That should have never happened. And I hope something happened to that man terribly.
When I was working at Olive Garden, one of my coworkers was doing a birthday song for a table, and the little girl like leaned over to blow the candles out, and her hair caught on fire. And my coworker, without thinking, hit her upside the head so hard to stop the flames.
Oh.
And it did stop, and the mom thanked her. But I remember seeing it happen and being like, "Oh no, you straight up decked that girl."
Yeah, but that's a situation where the mom was like, "Yeah, you had. That's not. You're not hitting it with intent. You're putting it out. The kid's not going to stop, drop, and roll when she has a fork in her hand."
No, and she was like probably like 6, so she was young, and her hair like combusted.
Oh my god.
Yeah, always throw it in a low pony before you blow out those silly little crazy candles.
Yeah, or get an LED candle. I don't know.
Hey girlies, I'm Cody Rigsby. And I'm Andrew Chappelle. We're here to announce our brand new podcast, Tactful Pettiness, now on Podcast One. We have a lot of opinions. Flip-flops in New York City? You don't love yourself. If I'm not seated, I'm not tipping. Do I want to see a picture of your baby? No. If I have to scroll more than 10 seconds, he's not cute. Settling gets you an ugly boyfriend. So we're going to help you out. We sure are, because we have the life expertise. We have mastered throwing shade with intention. We are in the business of helping you find and keep your man. And we're here to teach you the fine art of tactful pettiness. Join us each week as we traverse the world of pop culture, chat with our celebrity friends, and show you how to accept yourself without taking life too seriously. Get new episodes of Tactful Pettiness with me, Cody Rigsby, and me, Andrew Chappelle, every Thursday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and anywhere you get your podcasts. Stay petty, bestie.
Scary stories around the campfire.
Welcome back to Scary Stories Around the Campfire, campers.
There's an owl.
This one is actually outdoor related. This one is actually about camping, and this one is actually scary.
Okay.
Like, can you believe we're hitting on all camp theme cylinders right now?
All of the cylinders. I still don't know what that means.
It just means like when the car is running right.
Oh, because it's a 6-cylinder.
Well, now you're saying things you don't understand.
Horsepower.
Exactly.
Let's get into it.
Okay. Hi, cutie patootie counselors.
Hi.
I am a cross-country road trip girly through and through. In 2019, I drove from Maine to California and back in an SUV with my now husband. That's about 6 weeks of living in cars/tents. Then I did it again in 2021 after leaving my toxic teaching position with just me and my big old diggity doggo as a find myself journey. But this story takes place back in July of 2019 in that first trip with her now husband.
Roger that.
So let's set the scene. Summer 2019, the summer after my first year of teaching, and my boyfriend at the time, now husband, just graduated college and didn't have a job lined up until fall. We decided to embark on this once-in-a-lifetime road trip of everyone's dreams. Except I've already done it twice and will absolutely do it again. Also, keep in mind, we were broke as fuck, we were fresh out of college, and I was supporting us on a public elementary school teacher salary.
Mm-hmm.
God bless you, girl. We borrowed my boyfriend's mom's SUV and loaded that bitch up for a cross-country excursion. If you guys actually do the whole 2 days in an RV, I highly super duper 100% support and will give you all the tips. She's done it. She knows what she's talking about.
Give us the tips.
Basically, we spent every night sleeping at a free campsite / parking lots. Some nights were spent in the hot, stuffy, stinky SUV.
Okay, so I don't know if I want to take tips from you.
While most nights were spent in our $22 Walmart tent in an extremely remote and isolated free plot of land in the middle of nowhere. Whenever we slept in the tent, which was most nights, I had trouble sleeping. I was hyper aware of all the noises outside of our tent and was convinced some rabid animal was going to barge in and change our lives forever, like the poor great horned owl we crossed paths with in South Dakota. RIP. You never give us more information about what happened to the owl, and it's just kind of like vague there. I'm just curious.
Wait, that's so funny because I didn't read the story. I have no idea where you're going with this. And at the beginning of this, I said there's an owl. Like I literally saw an owl in my head, and I don't know why.
The great horned owl. Well,
that is spooky.
Well, it
isn't
died.
it?
It's dead. It's dead.
Why?
I don't know. She doesn't tell us.
Oh.
She's all we know right now is she's anxious in the tent, and I would be too. I don't like that. When I've been in a tent, I'm like, you don't know what's right outside. It's scary.
No, we need a window.
I woke up my partner, who was so fortunate for him, a deep sleeper, multiple times a night, asking, "Did you hear that?" And every time he convinced me it was nothing, which most times it's not.
No, I know, but that's still like you're not gonna be well rested, and you have a long way to drive. That's why you gotta be tussin'. You gotta be robo-tussin'.
Robo-tussin, or you gotta be super 8 motelling.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Then one fateful night in Wyoming, when we thought we were just outside of bear country, we started having sexy time in our tent.
That's fun.
We were young, hot, and horny. Clothes were long gone, and there was some petting that was heavy as well as smooches that involved mouths that were open. And I heard something brush up against our tent.
No.
I told myself I was being paranoid and ignored it, if not wanting to ruin the moment. But it happened again and again. At this point, penetration is initiated, and then we hear a humph. Insert nasally huffing and puffing sound. I tried, girl. An actual claws against the side of our $22 Walmart tent that had already been used and abused nightly for weeks.
Is it a bear?
And I froze mid-thrust and said, "Babe, did you hear that?" And he said, "Yes, I actually did." There was a literal grizzly bear. Yes, a grizzly bear pawing at our tent because we didn't cook our dinner over 100 yards away from our campsite. Standard protocol for camping in bear country. And he smelled pan-fried on our Coleman portable grill, cheddar-infused sausages, and mixed vegetables we made hours ago. I never knew you had to cook 100 yards. That's 300 feet. That's far.
That's far, but makes sense.
I know. I just didn't know. And that's why you can't do this kind of stuff unless you know. And they did know. They just didn't do it. But they did know at least. But I didn't know that.
The whole while they're doing the horizontal hokey pokey. And he's like trying to get at their food.
Mind you, a grizzly bear is approximately 400 to 1,000 pounds and stands on its hind legs at over 7 feet tall.
Well, that's not body shame.
And they can run 35 to 40 miles an hour. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a car.
Put them in, coach.
And they are also one of the most aggressive bears, especially when around a perceived food source or they're young. This is a recipe for disaster.
They're food motivated.
We had bear spray in the tent with us, but it's basically a death sentence to be this close in range with a grizzly bear, even with bear spray.
Okay, what is bear spray? Is it just pepper spray or is it like intense pepper spray?
It's like a mace of some sort.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever shot mace?
No. Mia got hit by it at the feast. Well, Mia told us she got hit by it at the feast, and then when you talked to me about the story, she just went by an area that had been recently maced. And
it lingers though.
And our poor friend Anne, if you knew her, of course she has asthma, and Anne,
she's so sweet.
She's so tiny and so sweet, and she got hit with the aftermath of the mace. And Mia said she was on all fours, gasping for air, which is so funny if you know Anne, because like that is so Anne. That would happen only to Anne.
You're like, that is so Anne. She's like, literally help me, I can't breathe. You're like, you are so Anne. Dan, 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 dan.
And stuff like that only happens to Anne. So she goes on and says, this bitch was huffing and puffing in my ear with only a sheer sliver of polyester nylon between us and pushing the sides of our tent with his basketball-sized claws. They're in a $22 Walmart tent. $20 Walmart tent.
I never want to get close enough to a bear to experience this. See, this is why I have my qualms with camping.
Yeah, well, we don't camp in grizzly bear country.
No, I can't.
Well, mind you, we're both butt-ass naked and in the middle of absolutely nowhere. We think quickly and decide to hit the car alarm button on the keys to the SUV, hoping to spook the grizzly far enough away to haul ass into the SUV without being attacked. So that's what we did. The alarm did make the grizzly bear retreat maybe the length of the distance you would walk from the entrance of a Dunkin' to the counter you'd order at, somewhere behind a tree, because she knows her audience.
Yeah, she knows you know exactly. Because you know what?
Visually, I said, oh, I get it.
We always say, granted, she did say 100 meters away, so that's rough for us. But we know that distance.
No, I know that distance for sure.
Door to counter.
Yeah. And I also want to commend you on the idea of the alarm.
Oh, think fast. They've camped.
Yeah, they've camped. You know what I mean? They've made a mistake, but they know what they're doing.
I don't even know what I would do.
I wouldn't have thought that because in my mind, I'm like, oh, now he's pissed because now he's annoyed. Now he's more hungry.
Right. Because I feel like if it's food, I'm not keeping any food in the tent. We're doing the survival bucket. We're doing dehydrated food. So
well, we're just dying.
Dying?
We're just not surviving in these instances. Oh. I'm good to go. Right. I'm not a survivalist.
HOTTOGO. You can take me good to go.
By now, my husband and I have jumped out of the tent, still fully naked. He is wielding the bear spray in the nude like a soldier on the front lines of combat as I chuck myself into the hot, stinky SUV. Once in the car, we were shining flashlights at the beast, and it was 110% a grizzly bear who wanted cheddar-infused sausage and maybe the opportunity to join in on some sexy times with some Mainers who somehow made their way to Wyoming on a flagged credit card and the delusion of people in their 20s pre-COVID.
Now that's funny. Beautifully written.
We both safely made it into the vehicle, but spent the night in a disorganized SUV, not prepared for car sleeping, without pillows or sleeping bags or pajamas, because they were in the tent that the grizzly was posted up around. The next morning, what we could see the paw prints and the sheer size of them was absolutely horrifying, but didn't stop my delulu self from going on a similar road trip again 2 years later as a 25-year-old female with just my dog. I also went missing on that trip for nearly 3 days in the same area at the same time as Gabby Petito was still missing.
What?
I know, she's nuts. But still here to tell my story.
Wait. What?
Anyways, love you guys.
No. Sincerely
naked and somewhat not afraid in the Camp Shady Birch arcade.
Do we have her name? Obviously don't say it, but like
No, we don't. But this
email?
This sign off is actually, this PS made me laugh, so I kept it in.
Okay.
PS, I primarily listen to you guys on full blast on my phone while walking the kiddos that I nanny around a rich neighborhood that I don't belong in with the babies and double strollers that cost my monthly salary because my house hippo, aka a rescue pit bull, chewed my AirPods and now they suck. So you guys are forever and always providing background language and stimuli for two amazing babies. Future campers for sure.
Aww.
Love you. Hi, kiddos. She's like blasting our podcast because her AirPods were chewed by her dog. Like this girl is she just is crazy. She's fun and she's kooky.
She went missing.
She didn't go. Well, yeah.
She went missing.
She actually did say she went missing.
She went missing for 3 days.
She's fine.
Like, I know, but I just like thanks for listening.
I'm at the same time as Gabby Petito, so her family's like, oh my god, is this connected? No, she's like, no, baby, I'm just off. You know what's crazy about I always thought Garmin fell off. My dad had a Garmin GPS. Remember GPSs were really like popular?
Yeah, Garmin TomTom.
Yeah, exactly. So Garmin is still really popular amongst like hikers and stuff like that.
And boaters.
Yeah, so I saw a girl and she was trapped on a riverbank through a forest fire, and she had her Garmin thing on TikTok, and she clicked it, and within 20 minutes, a rescue flight was there to pick her up and to airlift her out of like wildfires in like Wyoming or whatever.
A Garmin what?
It was like a Garmin,
clocker?
yeah, a Garmin clicker clocker.
Oh, I want one.
And everyone was like, "This is the best Garmin ad I've ever seen." It was like a real story. She's like, "Oh, thank God I have my Garmin," and they clicked it, and like literally like whoever it was, the Mounties, who are they? Who are those people?
And where is that?
Somewhere in like the camping regions.
Oh,
Like in the mountains. Came on like a red helicopter.
Wow.
Yeah. And they found her like that because of her Garmin.
We should look into that.
We don't, what do we need that in Brooklyn?
Yeah.
I don't need that, baby. I got an iPhone. Anyways, that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for writing in. If you want to be part of the show, as always, please write into camcounselorspodcast.com or camcounselorspod@gmail.com. Rate and review the show 5-star. Share it with a friend. Like and subscribe on YouTube. That was a lot, so don't feel like you have to do any of it. But if you do, you know we love you. Also, Patreon. It's popping on there. We're doing great vlogs, behind the scenes stuff, things that no one else sees except the Patreon campers and Cabin 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I will see you next week. We'll see you the week after. And with that being said, lights out, campers.